Okay.
Hey, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. We're just catching the last daylight, I think. The sun is going down there fast, so if Beth will stop jerking the camera around, are we starting from now? Hi, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines, and we're
Yeah, it's recorded.
hi, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines, and we're going to try to share whatever wisdom we can find in helping someone that has written to us for some advice. Okay, we are just giving our opinion. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
So, what's the letter?
in our small brain. Yeah, so we got, it's a complicated relationship. Yeah, so,
Isn't every relationship complicated?
yeah, it's complicated. Dear TNB, I am one of your long-time subscriber. I just need your advice. My husband has a daughter, 5 years old now. We've been married for 6 years, but what really bothers me is my husband visit her daughter twice a month and sleep there for 3 days. Twice a month? Okay.
Twice a month for 3 days.
I don't want to sound paranoid, but the mother of the child still single. And if people doesn't know the setup, will think they are perfect couple in the picture she posted. I wanted to confront my husband about it, but I don't want him to get upset and choose to leave me. We don't have child, so I understand that he is longing to have a complete family. What should I do? I know my husband married me, but deep in my heart, I know he will choose to marry that woman if she marry if she huh? I know he will choose to marry that woman if he found out that their affair resulted into a baby before our wedding day. Code name Didi.
Not quite sure.
Good.
Not quite sure what that. In other words, I think
What
that
should I do with
the
my
mother,
husband?
the mother of the child is his ex. He left her before he knew that she was pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it was over between them before he found out that she was pregnant. And the wife, and he has now since married this lady, and they've been married together for, 5 years?
6 years. We've been married for 6 years.
6 years, so all of this happened just before they got married. And what her fear is that, in fact, he would have married the other woman had he known that there was a child involved. And since then, they have not conceived of a child.
I think 5 years or 6 years. I think it's wrong on computation.
Yeah,
I think she's wrong on computation.
well, whatever. There is a child involved, and that's one of the things. Now, personally, I would not be happy if my partner was spending 3 days every 2 weeks with someone who she had a child with.
Yeah. It's not
I
safe.
think that that's not okay.
I think what you need to do is have your husband negotiate with the woman and borrow the child and spend the child in your home, right? That will be safe. You need to understand that the mistake of your husband and the other woman is not the fault of the child. So what you're gonna do is you tell to your husband that instead of you visiting the child, how about bring the child here and spend few days here with the child,
Yeah,
right? That
yes,
will be safer.
I think that would be fair, assuming, of course, that he's supporting the child, which if he is spending 6 days a month with the mother and the child, and
Because
they're living as a family, that's what's
that sounds
that's
how
what's disturbing.
Yeah.
That's not healthy, and certainly you are right, wife. You are right to be fearful or concerned. Let's say concerned. You're right to be concerned about that situation. I think that there is cause for concern on that situation, and that's what you should try to address. And you're reasonable in trying to address that, but you've got your secret fear, which is that he almost wishes this is what I'm guessing, reading between the lines. It's as if you almost think that he almost wishes that he had known about the child before that, and if he had known, he would have married that woman.
No, in his letter, he said, but deep in my heart, I know he will choose to marry that woman, right? So in
That's
other
what
words, he
I,
got.
darling, that's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Sometimes communication
Yeah,
with
but
a
I think
different
you
language
got.
and in trying to finish a sentence is like that. See, you know, you fear that actually he's on the verge of choosing to be with her in his heart of hearts.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I think you have the right to be paranoid, because
You have the right to be concerned.
yeah,
That- that's-
you have a right to be paranoid, because it's okay if your husband spend an hour, with her and the baby, the daughter in the park, right? Going to the park, going to the mall.
That's
right?
the normal thing.
Yeah, because it's a
The
normal
usual
setup. But if your husband visiting to the girl, to the daughter and the woman, and seems like they have a complete family, happy couple, then you really don't know what's going on in that house. Well, it's just the three of them, right? Well, just the two of them. So and it's a kind of another family there. You have a family here, and you have another. He has another family there. So of course you will be paranoid, especially that you don't have a child that you've been, and you understand that
Yes.
he has a longing to be a father and have a complete family. But that kind of relationship between him and that family and between you and him is a kind of not a healthy relationship. In other words, there's no trust. There's a
Yes.
lot of paranoid. What did happen there?
Yes, it's a three-way
Yeah.
relationship, and that's not good.
And it's emotional torture to you.
Yes,
Right.
and the idea, I would find that very disturbing, and I wouldn't want that. That there is a terrific temptation if the woman, who is the mother of the child, is willing to have him stay there for 3 days every 2 weeks, that's what it is, then who knows what else she is willing to have, and may in fact have designs on that. Everybody has their agenda.
Yeah. I think what you need to do is confront him. I told her, open up to him and said, what if I'm on that situations? Are you
Yes.
willing? Are you willing
Yes,
to for example, I got a child. Are you willing, the father of my child, to come here while you're
Yes.
not while you're not here?
you're not here.
Just
Or-
put yourself
or-
on my shoes.
if the situation was exactly the same, but with you on the receiving end,
Yeah.
which is what you are at the moment, wife.
It's a kind also of not healthy if he go with the husband going to that house, right?
No,
So
no, but then I'm a believer in the whole idea. This is a very American idea that you can remain on great terms with your ex,
yeah.
and everybody's friends, and it's all super psychologically superior.
I think
know?
also, right? I think also if the scenario is the girl, the mother of the child is already married, I'm sure that the husband will not allow the setup. Will not allow the setup.
I can't imagine that, but it has been known. I've experienced that myself. But then the whoever is the visiting parent is not there alone with the other parent, the
Yeah.
other person, the ex. They're not alone. The thing about being alone with your ex for extended periods is that's a tough one.
Remember on your case, when you came to the Philippines, you're staying with your with
Yes,
your ex and
I
your
did.
son.
I did, but
Yeah.
my son is a mature adult in his 20s.
Yeah, 20
So
something.
yeah, so it was quite different, but it was awkward. No doubt it was very awkward, and I was single then, I was not in that position, in that frame of mind like you suggest your husband is, where I would have liked it all to start up again. No, I didn't want that. And I rarely used to see my ex. Even though I was living in their house, it was a big house, and I had my own room and was happy for that. And there was never any question of that ever starting up again.
Yeah, but on your, it just happened that it's different scenario. In other words, both of you are singles, right?
Yes,
So in other words, you're not
Yes.
been married, you don't have into a relationship, and then you're sleeping with,
that's right.
you're sleeping in
As
the
I
house with
said,
your ex.
I was single, but I had no intention or desire for anything to start up again.
Yeah, but
I realized it was all a mistake, and I had moved on, and going back only confirmed that it had been a mistake. But of course, very difficult to start talking about mistakes when there are children involved.
yeah. But as I says, you know, I think the best option that you're gonna do is talk to your husband about your feelings. You know, talk to your husband about that. This is what I've been concerned with. Instead, so it needs to be resolved. So instead of you going and spend 3 days there, you know, because it's not healthy. You know, it's not healthy, and it's like you're being broke inside, you know, in that situation. So you need to raise that concern to your husband and tell to your husband, what if you bring the child and here?
You can only suggest that.
Suggest.
Of course, that will put the other woman to a test as well. See how
She will
would
react.
she would like that. A lot of parents will not allow their child to have any kind of a relationship with the new
Stepmom, right?
the stepmom, and a lot will fight that to the end. But and she has nothing. She has no vested interest in allowing the father to not come and stay with her if that's what she enjoys happening. Which, if she's single, she probably does.
Yeah, because it might be that the mother is still hoping, you know, if in other words, to have their
Agenda.
complete family, you know,
That's right,
because if
agenda.
yeah, because if the mother is in the right, if it is in the right track, he will not do that. If he's entertaining in another relationship, right?
Yeah.
Because what would other gonna say, or the neighbor gonna say, or other family member gonna say, you know? So it might like it's like that the relationship is like an extension.
Yeah, I guess it gets down to who left who as well.
Yeah.
What was the reason for the breakup of the ex and your husband? That would be interesting to know what really happened there, and if he does in fact have any regrets about leaving. You
Yeah,
need to
but-
talk. You know,
It's complicated.
in every one of our advice sections, as Beth always calls them, really the real decider, the real solution, the real resolution is always in communication. But in the end, you may have to set some boundaries for your own sanity, for your own sense of value. You may have to set some boundaries.
Yeah, and at the same time, you need later on you need to choose, right?
Well,
Because
same thing.
that kind of relationship is not healthy, you know. So you need to tell to your husband of that, you know, because even though your husband is longing to have a complete family, he has no right to make you left broke, right? Deep inside, you know. So
His commitment is to you,
yeah,
or should be, because in committing to you, he doesn't lose his daughter. He's already lost his daughter to a large extent, unfortunately, and he has to come to terms with that was an area of his life that didn't go that well. He's been happily married with you for 5 or 6 years, whichever is the case, and so he owes you his loyalty, and you have the right to demand that. But you make it clear that you're a little bit afraid that if it really came down to it, he would choose to be with the other woman. And who knows what the conversations have been, what the what-if conversations. Like, if you weren't with your wife, do you think that it would work with us when they're in the middle of a pleasure moment in the second or third day, or they're going through a tearful farewell when he's finished his third day? Who knows what the what-ifs have been? And it may have been looked at and considered
And
before now.
I think you need also to open-minded, open-minded for
To be open.
possibility that you might lose him.
Well,
But as I says, it's really complicated. It's very difficult situations, and we wish you the best
yeah,
for
you
your
have-
guidance.
You should have keep your hopes high,
Expectations
your
low.
expectations low.
Because it's really difficult to compete with a daughter, right?
Yes,
You
yes,
know?
it is. See, he may be. You're not going to want to hear this, but the possibility is that if he spends 6 comfortable days with this other woman who is the mother of his child, who he evidently enjoys greatly, the daughter, not the woman, but then he may consider that the sacrifice may not be the one that you want to hear. But better to face it now than later.
Yeah, but as I says, ma'am, you're right. It's complicated relationship, But relationship has always been like that. There are things that you need to balance to make it work.
It would be a whole different ball game. It would be a whole different thing if he was going there and spending 3 days with a husband and wife
Yeah.
who happens to be the parents and step-parents of his daughter.
Yeah, but if
That
he's
would be
been
a whole different thing.
yeah, but if he went there and just the daughter and the mother,
Well,
it's a
that's
kind
what's happening.
that's what happened right now. It's a kind of rekindling the relationship and
Difficult.
making it into a happy family.
Very difficult for you.
So
We wish you luck.
yeah, so again, it's very complicated situations that you got, but guidance, guidance, and at the same time, if the best way is to let go, but before letting go and before making speculations or making up some, you need to talk to your husband about it and open up that look, it's not a healthy setup between
You
you and
deserve-
me,
Yes, whoever you are, whatever you are, you deserve to have your own partner
Yeah,
who is
that will
totally
value-
committed to you.
that will value and will also
Yes.
look at your heart, and at the same time how important you are when it comes to making a decisions. In other words, before he make a decisions, you need to look at your your heart, whether it's
Well, it
good for
seems-
you, it's healthy
yeah.
for you,
It
or
seems like you're not being considered. here.
considered.
And you need to get on the considered list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, have a good day. Thank you so much, on mga tagbalanghoy. Bye bye. God bless.